What up? What up? What's going on with y'all? Live from the 856. As always, this is channel 856. Back again, week 8. This is Danny X.
Tuning in, Jared. Week 8, halfway through the season. Thanks for rocking with us. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we upload it. We appreciate all y'all tapping in once again. 2 months into the season officially as of this week. And yeah, so I wish myself and my co-host were in a better position, but we'll get into that in a second. But as always, we will start with our league, and that'll be right there. I don't know why I get like I'm happy when I do that every episode because it's like the little effects. Anyway, standing at top of the standings again, broken record in the pod. 2-7-0 teams: Jersey Kings, Quinzel, my boy, producer, director, wizard behind the camera. Also points champion. He has my birthday in points, 919 points. It's insane. In 8 weeks, he's almost at 1,000.
Evan's closing in.
Yeah, Evan's for sure closing in. He has 852. I have the demon number of 666, unfortunately. But yeah, 2-7-0 teams. Zaire sitting at 6-1. He beat me this week. Evan and Chemist 4-3. Chris and Steen are 3-4. 3-2-5 is myself, Foom, and Scoop. And unfortunately, my co-hosts and CP are 1-6 in the league. So I just can't catch a break. It's not even like the points against is crazy because the points against I have the third least. So I just can't get I just like play down to the game, or a different person flops every week. So this week it was Caleb Williams with 4. I just can't catch a break. How about you, man?
I counted. It's 5 players who haven't scored double digits, but I think this is the last out of 7 weeks. I think I've scored 100 once. So I think this is for me pivotal where I just got to get everyone on the same board on my team. Like I haven't had a game where I felt like 110 to 130 where you give yourself, oh yeah, I should win this game. I haven't had one of those yet.
Literally.
All my games have just been trying to withstand to the 4:00 game start, and it just turns into tsunamis. So I just be getting caught in the tidal wave. I feel like onslaughts. So
yeah, I think the one time I played well was against Evan. Like I felt good. I was in the lead. Like
oh no, that was crazy. That was like one of the better wins probably the best one I saw this season actually.
Yeah, so like other than that, it's been slow and steady. But we'll get into the matchups. We'll start with my game. 93.6 to 73.4. Caleb Williams flopped. Another one of those situations where even if I chose Jordan Love, I wouldn't have had enough points. Even if I started RJ Harvey over one of my running backs, still wouldn't have been enough points. So 73 was my max, I guess, which is pitiful. Jalen Hurts started going off as well. Wasn't expecting him to start turning up like that with the bombs to AJ and Tay. Scattaboo, Jefferson, Wandale all kind of stayed tame. But what hurt me was Scattaboo and Wandale Robinson were just like chipping 2 points here like every couple series, so that hurt. Even getting a -4 from his defense was off to a good start, but unfortunately didn't get it there. Mondre played well though, so it was a good start or good second game on my team, I'll say. But yeah, I just can't get right. I just it's another case of just not scoring touchdowns. Etienne 6, Vidal 5, Moore 6, Henry 5. So they're all getting reps. They're all getting volume. They're getting fed, but they just aren't scoring touchdowns. So that's the name of the game for me, unfortunately, right now. Probably the best game of the week. No, not probably. The best game of the week was Fumin's Scoop, 100.3 to 98.9. He got just enough out of his stack to win. I mean, Sam only had 10, but JSN had 22. and I saw like the highlights of the fight. That was kind of crazy. Like having a ref having to like shield you from an entire defensive unit, but that was kind of crazy. Olave with a great game. 24.3. He had a really really good game. I watched a lot of that game. Um, he was getting open pretty easily. DeAndre Swift with another 20 piece. I was just saying before the pod started, I might be considering him in part of the elite running back groups this of the league. Um, Scoop had a good game. Just another case of just like Metcalf 6.5, no touchdown. Brees Hall 6.2, no touchdown. Um, JD got JD came up hurt, so he could have played a little better, but got Rasheed Rice back, who was really good, 19.7, scored twice. D Waller with a stinker, Goosey 0 in the tight end. Brandon Aubrey, just another flex, like as always. Um, yeah, closest game of the week for sure. Alex beat Chris 123.2 to 104.2, 19-point win. Um, yeah, I mean when your running back is scoring as much as your quarterback, getting 32 apiece from Pat Mahomes and Jonathan Taylor. You don't really need much else from the rest of your team. They just gotta do enough. And then Charbonnet with another 18.5, and that's damn near 80, or 64 plus. That's more than 80 from three people, which is insane. Don't know what possessed Chris to start Dylan Gabriel. I don't think I've ever seen Browns quarterbacks in a matchup in fantasy football ever. But Christian McCaffrey turned out to be his quarterback, had 35.6, A.J. Brown 26.1, Tyler Warren with 14.9. Is he tight end 1? He's been absolutely ridiculous, though. Tight end 3. Really good this year, but those three were kind of it for him. Did the bulk of his scoring. So he fell on that one. Alex has been talking crazy all week in the league, so good for him, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, I think is this the? Oh wait, hold on, I gotta do math. Oh, I'm sorry, Jared. Anyway, Evan put up 145 on CP. Really good game. Balanced effort. Jay Herbo 33, Rico and Mason 10 plus. Devontae Adams 24, 3 touchdown game overseas. Amon Ra scored as well. Trey McBride scored 24.4, and then his Bears defense with 13. So just a big game from his whole unit, honestly. And then CP, despite getting 43.96 from Bo Nix, just wasn't enough. Travion Henderson with a .5. Another case of just no touchdown scores for him as well. Michael Pittman was a tough sit as well, looks like. So, yeah, tough loss there. I face CP this week. Jared, I think this is your third dog walk.
Could be.
Something like that. Quinn with 140 to 93. Yeah, no, I mean, you didn't start Matt Stafford. We were talking about that before we started recording. 5 touchdowns a week after scoring 11 points, which is ridiculous.
It's like terrible.
Yeah, so Drake May still with 27. Saquon Barkley's worst performance of the year, 4-7. JK 8.5. T Higgins got back in the red zone, end zone, 18-6. And then similar case to me where just nobody's scoring touchdowns.
Nobody's playing well.
Yeah.
Like I got 5 people single digits, and I felt like there was 2 or 3 good starts. Like I felt like J.K. Dobbins and Saquon could have had a better week. Fannin, I was excited about getting.
I thought Fannin would have a better week for sure.
Monty won. It's just my fault. Just I don't know, a little frustrating with him so far. It seems like for me, like the last 2 or 3 weeks, my second or third best players have been my defense and my kicker. So like that's the only like 2 spots I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about. Every other position seems like, I don't know. It just seems underwhelming right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like it's just woes after woe after woe after woe.
Gotta keep grinding.
Gotta keep grinding. Quinn, he had 29 from Kodak Prescott. Bijan 18, Pickens 10, Jake Ferguson 18. Quinshawn Judkins, he scored 3 times.
3 times. He had a hat
20,
trick.
26.4 in the flex. And then Patriots D with 19. Um, just wheels keep
Well
rolling.
rounded.
Yeah,
Like
just
well rounded.
wheels keep rolling. Um, depth on the bench as well. Pacheco 11.9. Like he does that at the moment. He's been having his best weeks the moment I drop him. Jalen Warren 17.8. Quentin Johnson, like just depth from top to bottom. Teams, players he's not playing, players he is playing, all performing. So that's how you construct a team. And then to bring up the last game, we got Steen, 30-point win over Kemis. Really big win for Steen. Keeps him in the playoff hunt. Tua had -1 for Kemis. Jameer Gibbs, 35 points for Steen. Matched Jamar Chase. And he also got another 25.6 from Freiermuth. So getting a 30-point dub with 0 from Kittle. Underperformances from K9. Like it was a pretty good win there. Matched to 0 from Jamison Williams on Kemis' side, which he couldn't afford just because Tua was in the negatives. Genti well underperformed because the Raiders are dog shit. Sorry, excuse my French. Tucker Craft with 14 though, but that was kind of just and Jacobs 18.3. Jacobs has been really good. Fantasy running back this season. So yeah. Anything else you got to kind of like wrap up the week? For me, I went to bed at like 7. I didn't watch much after. I didn't watch the Sunday night game. Raiders lost. My parlays didn't hit. Fantasy wasn't hitting. I just went to. I hate losing. It gets to my mental, so I just need to just bounce back and keep my head down. But what you got for me, Jarrett?
Nothing. I mean, I watched some of the games. I thought it was gonna be a better game with the Lions and Bucks. I didn't care. I thought the game was okay. I thought it would have been a little bit more of a shootout, but there's definitely the injuries that kind of robbed us. Um, Thursday night game definitely was lit. I feel like that was one of the better ones. The London games, I don't know. I'm tired of waking up and seeing like I'm
Yo,
tired of them games. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm a little off those, so that was kind of frustrating.
I think this week's a week off.
I
Finally,
think they play in Germany, I believe.
yeah. Then week 9 they're back.
Yeah, so but yeah, that's all. I ain't tripping. Jets are 0-7, so I ain't really football for me is usually watching other teams. So
Nah, facts.
for sure.
But nah, it's a good segue into the NFL. Like you said, really good Thursday night game, 33-31. Bengals shootout over Pittsburgh. You got the Raiders getting blanked, like I mentioned. The Jets are still winless to get our crap teams out of the way. Rams, big win overseas in London over the Jags. Browns dominated the Dolphins. What else we got? Eagles on the road avoided a 3-game skid in Minnesota. Colts are still colting. Best record in the league now. 38-24 over the LA Chargers. The Broncos put up 30. I gotta look at the camera for this. 33 points in the fourth quarter to overcome the New York Giants. I've never seen nothing like it. Told Corey I would shout out his boy Bo. Insane put out, insane game. I'm about to text it to you, Quinn. Um, but yeah, no, I just feel like this week just a lot of different just clutch performances from teams. I feel like a lot of teams like Cowboys, 44-22 at the crib. A lot of ups and downs with their season. Packers getting a good dub on the road. Niners holding off the Falcons in Sunday night. Patriots big dub over the reeling Titans. And then, like you mentioned, like Lions big over the Bucks on Monday night, and then Seahawks over the Texans Monday night. The game I was most locked into, probably the Giants Broncos, just because how electric it was. But I watched probably the whole Commanders Cowboys game. The Cowboys offense is electric. But yeah, I mean, didn't watch no Raiders. Knew how that was gonna go. You called it on your bold predictions. So
Oh well, nah. Actually, they
or
pulled
he'll.
Mahomes. They pulled him with 3. I think in
Oh,
the
he only had
third.
3. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was
But
close.
but yeah, a lot of high scoring games this week. Any I know you said you had a couple games you were looking at.
Nah, really, it was just I was most surprised with the Thursday. I thought that was very interesting. some underwhelming primetime games though. Sunday night and then a Monday night. I didn't watch the second game. That was a little much for me to do. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking at these games for next week. Kind of, I think Thursday this week we got Minnesota Chargers. Like that's pretty decent.
Nah, 100%. Yeah, no, it should be a good matchup. But yeah, no, good games. Let me look at the standings of the league, see how divisions are shaking out. New England in first place. I don't think anybody expected that by week 8. Pittsburgh in first place. Like I said, the Colts have the best record in the league. Denver in first place. I don't think anybody expect. Well, if you were high on Bo Nix, you probably were looking that way. Philly 5-2, first place. Packers leading the way 4-1-1. Which is crazy because that'll be a better winning percentage than the Detroit Lions, who have another win, but they have one more loss, but the tie is holding true for them. See how that shakes out in like 2 more months. But Bucks 5-2 in their division. 3 5-2 teams in the NFC West. I did not even realize that. Niners, Seahawks, Rams, all 5-2. That's gonna be crazy. That whole division.
That looks like it could be the best division of football this year.
Yeah. As of right now, damn near that whole division. Yeah, that whole division, or everyone except for the Cardinals will be in the playoffs. Damn.
I think I said it was like 13 of 16 to 15 NFC teams.
Yeah, no, they're. Yeah, 13 of 16 teams have 3 wins.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Meanwhile, there's triple that in the AFC. That's crazy. Yeah, good football coming out of the NFC this year. Yeah, absolutely. So let's make our way over to the waivers. Jared, this is your time to shine, sir. So start it off with some QBs.
Waivers this week, definitely a lot of teams on the bye. 6 teams. Definitely going to have to replace Jaguars, Rams players, Seahawks, Cardinals, Raiders, Lions. So a lot of those definitely fantasy relevant players. Quarterbacks this week, definitely would like to check out Rodgers' revenge game versus Green Bay Sunday Night Football at the crib for them. No need to say less, definitely a highly motivated game. Joe Flacco's playing the Jets sneakily. I definitely think he can, get close to 20 points. Definitely let his receivers do the touchdown work for him. So
Absolutely.
definitely could see him, having a productive day. Jackson Dart could be a play. But yeah, I kind of like Purdy if you're stashing a player looking to, maybe be ahead of the waiver wire, maybe a player like him. Just I would check on his injury with that turf toe situation. Michael Penix has a good matchup versus Miami this week, so there's upside for potential touchdown. But yeah, I'll pass it to you, running backs.
Yes, sir. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, Isaiah Pacheco's been pretty productive these last couple weeks. I know Kareem Hunt took a knock but finished the game, but he's trending in the right way. He definitely needs the assistance of Rice, Worthy, Juju, Hollywood, Kelsey, Noah Gray, and all those guys to open up the run game for him and allow Pat to spray it around the field. I would say keep. That didn't go out, did it? Q. I just coughed. Okay, cool. So Kamani Vidal, definitely lean him over Hassan Haskins. He definitely has the more of the workload. Continue to go that way for Kamani Vidal. I know it's like the 3rd week he's been on our waiver, but just in case if you have some room in your league and somebody sleep and haven't picked him up yet, definitely check that out. Tajay Spears is definitely another person to look at. The passing game in Tennessee just is awful. And the one kind of bright spots is Tony Pollard and the aforementioned Tajay Spears. So, like Jared said, bye weeks are starting to come in hot and heavy. Grab your handcuffs. I'll kick it over to you for the wide receivers.
Definitely more to choose from for the wide receivers. Travis Hunter had a big day in the wake of Brian Thomas' injury and towards the end of kind of like the garbage time, that Sunday early morning game. He's someone I would definitely look at, but he's on bye this week. So if you have the potential room to carry him, if you're not really in jeopardy of having to force a player in your lineup this week, he'd be my number one waiver. I think he'll have a week, probably with Brian Thomas out of the lineup, at least a week or two. And he looked good last game, looked very electric when he was catching after the ball. Kendrick Boutique, or whatever Boutique is from New England. The receiver duo from the Texans with Nico Collins out, they could be someone you might have to play, unfortunately. But, it could be room if you're rolling the dice. Marvin Mims Jr., I think, just with the potential for Broncos, they're playing well. They had a big comeback. They're playing Dallas, good matchup there. Romeo Dobbs, they have the Steelers, but Romeo Dobbs looks like he's a strong red zone target of Jordan Love, so he's always a good play there.
100%.
Josh Downs, they're playing Tennessee. I just saw Drake May pretty much had a pretty good deep passing game against them. So someone I feel like Josh Downs could have a deep ball down there. Rashard Bateman, someone sneaky with the Lamar back, could be in play. And Xavier Legette or Jalen Coker with Andy Dalton. It's just the Bills have a tougher pass secondary, so we'll see. I'll kick it to you, tight ends.
Yeah, tight ends. I think the biggest one here is probably Gatson out in LA. He had a really good game. He's getting a lot of target share. At first, Justin was kind of stayed with Keenan. Quentin Johnston was playing really well. Now he's starting to feed Ladd again. So all those guys obviously command help and coverage. So a guy like Gatson will be able to make good way in his plays and make himself open in the field. I know he's on bye, but excuse me. I know he's on bye, but I would say Barner out in Seattle. He probably had his worst game, but it's kind of a shootout with the Texans wound up being their defense came alive, so that game wound up being a little bit more competitive. So probably wasn't as much tight end looks there, and then Fannin was a little bit lower than usual, but keep starting. I mean, they put up 31 points on the Dolphins. As long as Njoku's out, he's going to get targets. So keep looking his way. Gabriel seems to find him. And then, any kickers? I know you got McPherson. I've picked him up in 2 leagues already, or tried to at least.
Definitely him. Jake Moody looks like he had a productive day for the Bears. They might be trailing, but he's someone I feel like, they're going to try to keep that game close. Will Lutz, Denver's playing the Cowboys this week, so a lot of scoring opportunities. Will Reichard, Minnesota is playing the Chargers. I feel like that could be a game where they're going to need the points. Carson Wentz doesn't, it looks like he struggled a lot, so they don't want to continually put the ball in his hands. So those are a few I feel like definitely on the waiver. Tyler Loop for the Ravens, they're playing Chicago. Definitely could be scoring opportunities with a rusty Lamar. I think Lamar missed like 3 or 4 games or so. So definitely could be added opportunities there. And defenses, definitely some interesting ones this week, Dan.
Yeah, a couple of interesting defenses. You got to look at the Chiefs, especially if Jaden Daniels might not take that game. They're favored 10.5 right now, so Vegas is definitely considering that. So definitely want to look the Chiefs' way if Jaden Daniels isn't suiting up. Buffalo is at Carolina this week. They're already favored 7.5. Definitely want to make it pesty for Bryce Young and the boys. Through 4-3, they look good, but Buffalo Bills also are kind of sliding, having a little bit of turmoil. So they definitely want to make sure they take care of business when they're down there. Moving on to the New England Patriots. New England Patriots are facing the Browns at the crib. Already favored a touchdown. Should be able to stifle Dylan Gabriel. They put up 19 fantasy points this past week. So looks pretty good. Oh my God, they start so tall.
Yeah, they're one of the largest lineups.
Oh my gosh. A-Man is running the one. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Sorry, basketball, big Laker. Anyway, back to it. Where was I talking? I was talking about the Patriots and the Browns. Yeah, so 19 fantasy points last week. Prime to definitely do that again and repeat that. And then another one that Jared highlighted, I would say the Atlanta Falcons at the crib versus the Miami Dolphins. Tua's trash. Were able to beat last year's MVP coming into town a couple weeks ago. So I look to see more of the same. Their pass rush is good. Their linebackers are quality. AJ Terrell and those boys get after it. Jesse Bates, that's what I was about to say. I couldn't think of him for a second. They get after it in the secondary. It's a good overall team. So, look at those defenses at Baltimore, Cincy. Just because of their matchups, you always want to keep them in play. When teams are playing like the Jets, the Raiders, Panthers, Cardinals, those type of games, you always want to keep those teams in mind. But yeah, that is the end of our waiver section, and now I'll move it over to Jared's section, and he'll get at y'all with his bold predictions that he has for week 8.
Week 8 bold predictions. All right, I got you. This is actually some fun ones this week. I'll go with this one might be an easy one to see coming. Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to call a multi-touchdown game versus Tennessee. He's done so week 3 versus them. He had a 32-point performance, almost 33.
Yep.
And the last 2 games, last 2 times he's played Tennessee, he scored multi-touchdown. So if you have Jonathan Taylor, I think wheels up. He's in the smash spot. I think he definitely scores a double dose of touchdowns for you this week. I'm going to say Bo Nix, they're playing Dallas. He's going to have back-to-back 30-point games. Last week was a 40-point game. This week, I'm going to say he sticks, cools down a bit, but he'll have 30 points or so. I think him and Dak will shoot it out and have a pretty big game, pretty exciting game, hopefully. Jamar Chase, I've seen enough with the Jets defense to tell you it is Swiss cheese. Sauce Gardner just had a concussion this past week, so I doubt he plays. And Joe Flacco obviously can force feed him the ball. So I think Jamar Chase goes for 100 yards and a receiving touchdown in a Cincy win. Jets remain winless halfway of the season. Going to be 0-8 there. And then finally, I'm going to finish it out with the Pats. I'm going to say they repeat as a top 10 DST on the week. Last week, they finished second with 19 points. Big fumble recovery touchdown. I played against them in the league. They were just very productive versus the Titans. Like I said, some of the arrows pointing down for the Titans was, head coach, switching the head coach, different play caller, just a lot of chaos in the building. Tyler Lockett's asking to be released, things like that. Just not cohesive.
Reworking offensive schemes week of.
Yeah, all that kind of nonsense. So that was kind of, the telltale signs there that you needed to play New England D. So they got the Browns this week. I think is another performance where, I think New England can potentially score, but definitely would be a DST that I'd be interested in playing this week. Strong potential.
Nah, absolutely, man. I'm with you 100%. How we doing on time? Good.
Last week's my fault. Real quick recap because I'm trying to hold myself accountable for the bold predictions.
Yeah.
Last week I had Mahomes finishing as QB1 on the week, so he didn't finish QB1 because Bo Nix definitely snapped.
Yeah,
but
almost.
I called 4 touchdowns. He had 3. One of them being to Rashee Rice. So Rashee Rice had 2. Yeah, actually. So that was a accurate call, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. We'll say. I had Quinshon Judkins scoring 2 touchdowns, finishing the top 5 RB on the week.
Scored 3.
That was good. He scored 3, so that was a good call. I had DK Metcalf 5th game in a row with a touchdown. He did not score. He had a pretty bad game versus Cincy, so I fall there. Goddard, Taylor, Fannin, Barner all scored touchdown. I think neither.
I don't think any of them.
So complete miss there. And then I had finally New England and Cleveland DST score a return to I said return. But defensive touchdown, both finishing inside the top 10. Both did actually. They were 1 and 2 on the week. The defenses
3 for 5.
Yeah, Cleveland scored 26. New England scored 19. So
I like it.
Both good calls there. But yeah, those are my bold plays for the week. Feel free if you got some spice to those. If those came through with you, anything, if there was a tournament matchup, let me know. Send some comments. That'd be kind of cool seeing what's going on with that. Because Quinshon Judkins, he definitely he gave me a few body blows this week. Pause. I played against him in the league, and then I played him in the league. So definitely interesting on being on both sides of the coin there.
The new NBA socks look comfortable, but no, that's fire. Like I agree. Like you just gotta keep going, burning and churning. But for sure. So we'll get into the rankings, and then we got GTP as always, and then rapid fire, and we'll get out of here. Pretty standard episode this week. So as far as green lights on your quarterbacks, the names, the tried and true guys. Monitor Lamar. Don't just rush to putting him into your lineup. Monitor Justin Fields.
No.
Because, no. Like,
I'm gonna stop you there. Please do not monitor. Run away. Drop. Release him. Trade him. Cut
hey,
him.
this is for
No.
this is the part of our audience that drafted him and have no
No.
other choice. So just in case if you have no other choice,
Nah, Tyrod's starting anyway, but just I'm not advocating that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that to nobody. I wouldn't even tell my opponent to start Justin Fields. It's like that. He's dog water, yo.
yeah, nah. But monitor Lamar, see if how his hamstring's going. I know you can have a good week with a hammy, you can have a bad week with a hammy, so definitely monitor Lamar. Jalen Hurts, I mean, coming off that past performance, it's hard to not consider him a green light, and as well as Bo Nix. Definitely another green light from both of them, just having stellar passing performances. Uh, my boy Jordan Love back on my team is another person I would let it fly this week. They got the Steelers. Um, tough, tough passing defense over there. Um, Surprisingly, with the stud they have at corners, but Sunday Night Football, a lot of emotions in that game. Um, but yeah, definitely fire up Rodgers. Definitely fire up Jordan Love. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Until Daniel Jones shows you otherwise, start him. He's balling. Simple as that. Um, Caleb Williams is like a lower green light, maybe like a yellow light. Just coming off of last week, he has a very good run game to support him and not need his arm to score points, obviously. And yeah, just continue to look his way just because and monitor his matchups more so than his actual just starting him for his points. Pump the brakes, definitely slow down on Drake May. Drake May has the Browns coming in, stout defense. Myles Garrett will be bearing down on him, obviously all game. So pump the brakes on that. Kodak Prescott has the Broncos coming in. Nick Benito, PS2, all those boys, dogs. Um, and they proved that they are never out of any game. So which is something that the Cowboys kind of have in their DNA as well. Swervo, Justin Herbert, with the Vikings on Thursday. Short week. Tough defense coming into play. Just monitor it. It's not if you have a different play, consider it. But he has definitely a tougher matchup. The Minnesota, same thing on the other side of that game with the Minnesota quarterbacks. Obviously, like Jared said, you don't want any Jets quarterbacks. Be wary of Jackson Dart as well, going into Philly for the first time, and embracing that hostile environment. Jared, what we got? Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. I saw the news after Wentz will be starting. I wasn't sure if it was McCarthy or
Oh
Wentz.
yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't interested in either of them. So
Yeah, KOC announced Wentz with Max Browner as the backup again.
all right, well that works. Running backs, there's obviously a bunch that you can't play this week. The heavy hitters you'd obviously play. For me, I really, really still like the Carolina running backs. Buffalo is allowed. They're one of I think they're bottom three rush defenses in the league, and they are the top two pass defense. So I think
Right.
Carolina knows with a backup quarterback that they have to run the ball. I think Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard to keep the game closer. So there's two running backs I would love this week. Jordan Mason, I think even on a short week, I think they might lean on him a little bit more. The Bucks running
Last
back.
couple, not to cut you off. Last couple weeks with his production being that high, Aaron Jones is about to clear IR.
Okay, I didn't mention that was a good point there.
So I agree though he's a green light, but I don't know how many more green lights he has.
I feel that for sure. Maybe we get Bucky Irvin back. It's early in the week to tell, but I like the matchup versus the Saints for the Bucks running back. So if you're not Bucky Irvin's not available, Rashard White would be good. Saints have a good matchup versus the Bucks too. So Kamara, this could be a ceiling game. Judkins, I'd still start. Definitely coming off his game. I know the Patriots game, they could be trying to trailing and kind of maybe have to pass a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Pacheco's a strong start if Kareem Hunt misses. But Chase Brown is someone I think you could comfortably inject in your lineups. He's been, unfortunately been really disappointing with the Burrow injury. But this week, I think he has a ceiling game. He could definitely get you 15-plus points versus the Jets.
Not 100%.
I'm going to be lower on Javonte. I know in a revenge game, I'd still start him. I think he just might have definitely less than, like 75 rushing yards. So I think the Broncos will try to take him out the game. But I definitely think he has potential to score versus old team. I know he's going to want him. He's going to be fired up. Jalen Warren, just the Packers defense is very like that. Cam Scatterboo, he's treated the Eagles earlier, but Jalen Carter wasn't in that game. I think it'll be a little bit different this game. Might have to be trailing, so. But I just comfortably start him. He's shown enough to play in tough matchups. But there's some backfields I'm not interested in at all right now. Tennessee's running backs to play, looking like they're struggling. New England's running backs, I can't really explain the issue there. Chargers running backs, they have a tough matchup. Houston running backs, just not too productive with that offense. So
Right.
Washington, it's too much of a mixed bag, especially if JD's not playing again. I'm kind of out on them this week. Versus the Chiefs, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, 100%.
Then wide receivers, I'm leaning towards you. What you got?
All right, so wide receivers. This week we're gonna focus on like some of the lower profile names. I'm looking at a guy like Chris Olave. He's having a really good game. I've been endorsing the Saints. I've been saying they play hard, they compete, and yeah, he's been showing tried and true despite what they're doing. Alongside his running mate Rashid Shaheed. Has been proving to be a little bit more than just a deep threat, catching the intermediates and helping them move the chains. Fire up all the Kansas City boys. I would like to lean towards Xavier Worthy out of the bunch. So keep an eye on them. Wan'Dale Robinson is proven to be a number one with Malik, and him and Jackson Dart are making a good pairing. Khalil Shakir should have a bounce back game. This week, Buffalo is going to be bouncing back in Carolina, hopefully. So look for them to have a lot of success. Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, good targets for Jordan Love. They've been pretty consistent. The floor is getting a little bit higher. And like you mentioned earlier, Josh Downs, he's proven to be the deep threat for Danny Dimes. Darnell Mooney, they just released Raymond McLeod, so I don't know what that entails, but maybe it gives Mooney 2 or 3 more receptions. Who knows?
Who knows? I hope.
But pump the brakes. This week's certain curtain goes to my guy CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully the certain curtain sees a little bit of George Pickens, so it can give him a little bit of an opportunity. He won't be traveling or shadowing, if you will. He'll be kind of just roaming based on matchups. Washington wide receivers projecting Mariota to start. Jalen Lane, Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey, not attractive, not good, not productive.
I don't even know if Terry comes back. Like I don't know the situation.
I will shut him. I think he might get shut down. It's not anything projecting him being close. It doesn't look like so.
Oh, like I thought he was close last week. That's
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, something's keeping him off. So I don't know what it is. The Denzel Award shadow this week is Stephon Diggs, so pay a good attention to that. And then Nico is obviously projected to miss some time with the concussion, so hopefully he can clear protocol, and hopefully it's not too bad, and we can get back to balling. But he's on Alex's team, so he can sit where he's at for a little bit longer. How about tight ends?
You're going to start your studs, so the first 3 or 4 usually aren't going to change, right? Kraft, Warren, Kittle, Ferguson. I'm really big on Lamar this week versus the Bears. Their secondary is pretty weak. Very high on Dalton Schultz with Nico Collins being out. They're playing San Francisco, who just lost Fred Warner. I think that's going to open up the middle of the field for them, specifically with that matchup for Dalton Schultz. I personally will give Harold Fannin an exemption for last week with the weather conditions. Game got out of hand, but I'm hoping if there's another Njoku injury this week or, missing another game that this will be a rebound performance.
Right.
Couple that I'm going to be higher on, though. I think Evan Ingram has chance versus the Cowboys to score. Zach Ertz, even if Mariota's playing, someone I kind of like this week. I know it's a tougher matchup with the Chiefs, but I think Mariota would lean on the middle of the field with Ertz, especially in the red zone. And then Kyle Pitts, they play Miami. I just think anyone versus Miami is a strong play at this point in time.
100%.
So, yeah. Pumping the brakes, though. Gadsden, they play the Vikings on a short week. I do like his arrows pointing up for me. I like his opportunity share. I like his target share this past week. I'm not sure if I'm ready to play him off the rip.
Agreed.
Theo Johnson, I like what I'm seeing from them. I just don't know if I'm ready to play him versus the Eagles. They have a strong secondary. Mason Taylor, I'm not playing. The Jets are just broken, but he could be worth a hold or, unfortunate. I just wouldn't play him right now. The Jets offense hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Nah, I agree, man. It's brutal. As far as kickers, give your green lights. Make sure you check anybody that's playing indoors or on the West Coast with some decent weather. Um, and then you got guys like, Cameron Dicker. I'm picking up Evan McPherson, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, in a lot of leagues. I think he has a big time matchup to have a lot of points, especially playing the Jets. So he can be kicking a lot of field goals and extra points. So look his way. I think Jake Elliott will have a solid matchup. It's good football weather on the East Coast right now. Sunday with the Giants coming in, I think he'll be busy. They score the ball a lot, and then probably demand the Eagles will score the ball a lot. So it'll be interesting to look that way. Kaimi Fairbairn, despite the Texans being kind of up and down, he still gets great production. Eddie Pinheiro over at San Fran has been playing really well as well. Always keep an eye on guys like Caleb McLaughlin. Um, Reichard up in Minnesota has been playing well as also. Tyler Loop has a great matchup this week. Pump the brakes on Joey Sly, Brandon McManus, Fitzgerald, Groupie, Patterson. They're just in like sling out matchups. Teams are going to be tougher scoring the ball, so just make sure you tread lightly and just make sure that if you have options for kickers, just look at the matchups, look at where they're playing, look at where the weather's at, and don't rush to the kicker because they won't make your brain, but they won't make your game, but they can break your game. And then any defenses that you're highlighting.
Whew, this week you're gonna have to cook. You're gonna have to cook from scratch. I feel like for defense, you're gonna have to really earn it. Kansas City and Indy are comfortable plays. I feel like easy plays. But New England too. But there are gonna be some plays where you're gonna have to hold your nose. I feel like pause and just take it.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta versus Miami. Atlanta, I feel like they're gonna be a strong opportunities versus Tua. Philly versus New York. I think there could be opportunities for sacks in that game. I think Philly will. They're not gonna want to lose to the Giants twice. Buffalo versus Carolina. I think if Carolina has to throw it, they'll get in trouble. But if they can keep the game close, Buffalo could be in trouble. Carolina's run game is third in the league. That's right where Buffalo struggles. So that's a risky one. The Chargers on a short week, they're getting back Khalil Mack and Denzel Perryman. Could be a boost for them. Those Thursday night games are a bit wacky, but San Fran, they're playing the Texans without Nico Collins. Again, they're playing without their best two players on defense, actually, Bosa and Fred Warner. Robert Saleh over there had them playing well for a bit, but again, that's kind of a riskier play. But I can see that working out without the Texans' top receiver. Anybody versus Jetstream, not even going to go too far into it. The Carolina Panthers had 17 points last week. Tampa, they're playing. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Tampa don't even tell me they got the Saints.
Yep.
So I think anything versus Saints is kind of a go. Spencer Rattler started the game on hot, but he was turning the ball over last week. And then Baltimore versus Bears. You have to hold your nose. I know Baltimore's played terrible, but there's definitely always turnover potential with Caleb. But it also could backfire. So
100%.
be mindful.
I'm a victim of the backfire.
This week, definitely have to be mindful. Denver versus the Cowboys could be shootout potential. That's at least what I would think. But sack potential, too, with the Cowboys' offensive line. A bit shaky sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Not playing the Bears. They just had a great game this past week versus Saints, but they played the Ravens. I'm projecting Lamar to start. I'm not comfortable playing against him. Cleveland's defense, I know they just were number one. They're playing the Pats this week, or the Patriots, so I'm not a big fan. Green Bay and Pittsburgh defenses, dice roll. That game it should be a good one, but I could see it being maybe 28, 24, 27, 24.
Slugfest.
Something kind of like that. 24-21, where both defenses have like a floor game. Washington, I wouldn't play. Miami, no. Jets, no. Saints, no. So like Giants, Carolina, Tennessee, like all those defenses are bottom barrel. So you do probably have to take a dice roll at some point. But good luck.
Spend some time on your defenses. It's not as quick of a decision as it probably was for the first couple weeks.
Yeah, this one will be fun though. Definitely some be some wacky ones this week. When you look back to finish, like, oh, what? Atlanta finished fourth. Like, there's gonna be some funny ones.
Nah, 100%.
But yeah.
All right. GTP time, then rapid fire, and then let's see how I do this week. I didn't do as well last week. Let's try to be a little bit better. What positions you got this week?
Quarterback,
Pause, pause,
receiver,
pause.
right? Quarterback, receiver, running back, and the defense. But my running back one is real easy. It's just like a nice warm up, John.
Yeah, let's start there though.
All right. Currently, he's the RB20. He has a total of 70.8 points on the year. He averages 11.8 points per game. So far, he's 22nd in the NFL in rushing attempts with 88. He's 15th in the league with 439 rushing yards. He has 4 touchdowns, and he's averaging 5 yards per carry clean. Only has 8 targets, 5 catches, and 44 yards. So he's not a pass catching running back. He has 2 red zone attempts this year, 3 fumbles and 2 lost already. And somehow he's 0 of 1 passing week 3 at a passing attempt and trick play stuff. Last year, he finished his RB3. He had a total of 326.9 points on the year. He averaged 19.2 points per game. Second in the league in attempts with 325. Second in the league in yards with 1,921. He had 5.9 yards per carry, which was first in the league. Tied for first with 16 rushing touchdowns. 22 targets for 19 catches. 193 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. 32 red zone attempts. And 3 fumbles lost. 3 fumbles, 1 fumble lost.
That is the Husky Bowl from B-Mall in the Deuce with the dreads and the double sleeve. Yeah, Derrick Henry.
That's definitely Derrick Henry. So I thought that was good. I know you had him last year, so I figured. But yeah, RB20 on the year. A little surprising there. Quarterback, receiver, and defense.
Quarterback, receiver, defense. Defense. I was bad with defense last week. We'll do defense.
Okay. This one is currently DST1 on the year. They have a total of 65 points. They average 9.3 points per game on the year. They average 312 yards per game, only 19 points per game. They have a defensive touchdown this year. They got 18 sacks, which is currently tied for 7th in the league. Also currently tied for 7th in the league in picks with 5. They're tied for 3rd in fumbles forced with 4. And they're tied for 6th in fumbles recovered with 4. They have 2 return touchdowns on special teams, however. Last year, they were DST 31, they finished. They had a total of 62 points, so they already outscored their total of last year by 3 points. Last year, they averaged 3.65 points per game, giving up 343 yards per game, 23.5 points per game, only 1 touchdown defensively. They were last in the league with 28 sacks. They were 29th with 7 picks. They had 14 fumbles forced and 5 fumbles recovered, which was tied for second to last in the league. And they had 1 block, no return touchdowns last year.
The Texans.
No,
they weren't that bad last year. Cleveland's not number 1, right?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay. All right. I'll count that as 1 strike, not 2. That was a question. Oh, is it Naptown, Indianapolis?
Good guess, though.
All right, that's strike 2. AFC or NFC?
AFC.
Oh, it's the Chiefs.
No. This is New England's defense.
New England.
I was going to say maybe I should say first place team, but I feel like that could have gave it away quick. Because I don't know.
I didn't know. I was trying to think of the game I was watching, and that was the game because they were saying it's the worst offense versus the best defense. Damn, I knew that. All right. 1 for 2. Oh, Reece Shepard playing. Crazy. All right. Quarterback.
All right. This quarterback is currently QB5 on the year. They have a total of 168.44 points. They are completing of 242 passes, 160 completions, which is good for 67%. They average 24 points per game on the year. Currently third in the NFL in passing yards with 1,866. First in the league in passing touchdowns with 17. Second lowest interception total with 2.
Damn.
QBR is 109.3, so they're first in the league.
Yo, it's cooking.
They're eighth in the league in yards per attempt with 7.7 average. They have eighth in the league. Yep. They have 11 sacks this year, so they're getting protected pretty well. And they have 17 rushes for -2 yards, 5 fumbles, 2 lost. So not too turnover prone. They're playing pretty well, playing safe football. Last year, this QB finished QB 19. They finished with a total of 223.6 points. They are averaging 14 points per game last year. Of 517 passes, they completed 340 for 66%, which was 19th in the league last year. They finished with 3,762 passing yards, which was 13th. They had 20 passing touchdowns last year, which was good for 15th in the league. They had 8 picks, and they had 28 sacks last year. 30 attempts rushing for 41 yards. Their QBR was 61.5 last year, which was good for 12th. And they had 6 fumbles, 2 lost last year.
It was NFC, right?
Yes.
Caleb.
No. Mm-mm.
All right, I didn't think. Nah, he didn't throw 17 of them, Jones. Jared Goff.
No. Mm-mm.
That's
Close.
2 quick strikes.
He's of that hereditary.
Hereditary.
One sec, I guess. Ethnicity.
He said he's hereditary.
My fault.
I know what you mean. NFC. Jordan Love?
Mm-mm.
That's what I just said, right?
No, you didn't say him. Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford, Glock 9.
He's hooping, and I watched him Sunday. I started him. Sorry, sidebar. I started him last week. He gets me 11 points, 1 touchdown. Puka gets hurt versus the Ravens. This week, I don't start him. He drops 5 touchdowns on the Jags' neck
37.
without Puka. 37.
I didn't know his numbers was that good. Damn.
You're talking about MVP for him.
That's crazy.
Definitely talking about he's in an MVP race. So
yeah, I know, they just bumped up Drake May. Drake May got the 3rd best odds behind Pat and Josh right now.
For sure.
Okay.
All right. Last but not least, we're going to go with our wide receiver on the week. He is currently wide receiver 63. He has a total of 36.7 points on the year. He's averaging through 7 weeks, 5.24 points per game. He's only got 52 targets for 22 catches, 257 receiving yards, no touchdowns, no red zone attempts.
Goodness.
Last year, this wide receiver finished 15th. He had a total of 196 points. He averaged 11.5 points per game last year. He was 9th in the NFL in targets with 145, 14th in catches with 90. He was 6th in the league with receiving yards, 1,229. Had 4 touchdowns, 6 red zone attempts, 2 two-point conversions, and was 15th in yards per game amongst receivers.
DJ Moore?
No, but close. He's of that ilk, actually, like in that mold, kind of.
Yeah.
Definitely, this was somebody I was interested in drafting this year. It was, I don't know. I'm kind of glad he wasn't available for me.
The 2-point conversions is where I'm trying to think of who secured 2 of them, Jones.
That was last year, though.
Oh, last year, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
okay.
one, he has no touchdowns on the year, 52 targets, 22 catches, 257 receiving yards. But last year he was real decent. He was like one of the better receivers last year for value for sure.
Myers?
But very good answer though. Very
Strike
good close.
Strike 2.
You said DJ Moore and Jacoby Myers. Definitely around that ilk. Was definitely a really productive college receiver.
Okay, there's my guess. I mean, my hint. Very productive college receiver. AFC or NFC?
AFC.
Productive college receiver. AFC. West. South.
And apparently he's very religious. He has something to do with religion.
Lockett?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I know he's religious.
I feel like that could have thrown you off the wrong trail. He's a younger guy, but I'll give you an extra one because I might have thrown you off the trail with that religion one. It's kind of like a pun on his name, the religion part.
Got you. AFC. I'm thinking they're in the AFC. Are they in the AFC South? Am I right?
Mm-mm.
Where does he play now? Christian Kirk?
No, not Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
This one was Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy.
He's
I thought
just-
of that. I thought of him because I knew he. Yeah. That's a good call because he added like a lot of yards to his season last year, like the last month and a half.
Yeah, I picked him up in one league last year. He was going fire, but this year I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Browns football, but
Yeah, I can't say I do either.
Ugh.
Damn. So what was that? I only got Derrick Henry right.
All good. A room for improvement.
1 for 4. Goodness me. All right. That was a bad week. All right. Bet.
Rapid fire to end the.
Rapid fire to end. All right. Let's do it quickly. Get up out of here.
Minnesota at Chargers. I'm going Chargers.
Minnesota at the Chargers. Chargers.
Miami at Atlanta. I'm going Atlanta.
Atlanta for sure.
New York at Cincy. I'm going Cincy.
Cincy.
Cleveland at New England. I'm still going New England.
New England for sure.
New York at Philly. I'm going to go with Philly.
Giants upset.
Buffalo at Carolina. I go Buffalo.
Buffalo for sure.
Chicago at Baltimore. I go Chicago. I'll go Baltimore with Lamar back.
Lamar plays Baltimore. Lamar doesn't play Chicago.
San Fran at Houston. I go San Fran.
Houston.
Tampa at New Orleans. I go Tampa.
Tampa.
Dallas at Denver. I go Dallas.
Dallas at Denver. I go Dallas. Interesting. I go Dallas as well.
Tennessee at Indy. I go Indy.
Tennessee at Indy. I go Indy as well.
Green Bay at Pittsburgh. I go Pittsburgh.
Green Bay at Pittsburgh. I think because the Packers defense is better, they'll get it. They'll get the dub. I'll go Green Bay on the road.
Washington at Kansas City.
No JD, Kansas City.
For sure, Kansas City.
That's the Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Only one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bet. Perfect. Well, as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate y'all for locking in for another week 8. Hit your mamas, fathers, cousins, brothers, sisters, grannies, aunties, uncles. Tell them you love them. Make sure y'all praying. Make sure y'all drinking water. Stay watered up. Jared, any shout outs?
Shout out to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for sure, waking us up, continue to just move mountains. Sometimes it feels like
Absolutely.
for things, but for sure, shout out to all our subscribers, listeners, followers, people just telling a friend. Appreciate y'all. Shout out. That's about it though. I would have shout outs, but I don't got anybody that's been playing well on my team for me to shout out besides maybe Drake May, but that's about it. But shout out to Quinn, CP. Yes. Quinn does our great job doing these joints. Be up all night, half asleep doing these edits and stuff. So
yes, we appreciate everything as always, bro.
He just put BTA to me, but It is all good.
Listen, it all makes up for it when you win both leagues, right?
Yeah, that was wild. The Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, like watching his team win the Super Bowl and winning the fantasy chip alongside the team. Yeah,
That's glory.
What?
That's ultimate glory.
Like, that's crazy. But yeah, shout out to Quinn. He's definitely atop the league, doing good. Alex doing well. But yeah, shout out everybody in the league. We been keeping it going halfway through. So yeah, let's keep on grinding. Let's get to it.
Big Laker shit. We about to debut tonight. We gonna beat the Warriors. You see what we going on.
Facts.
The quest for 18. Y'all be safe out there. Love y'all. Have a good week. Peace.